hurt you?
Sometimes.
It will never hurt again.
I started into the canyons that were the beginning.
Westerns nominated for Oscars, 1950s, Part 1, 50 to 55. Shh. Enough about the winners. How about those nominations? The Bridesmaids, if you were. The 50s being arguably the height of the classic Western era. There was no shortage of Westerns. Let's take a look at those who made the shortlist, when the Oscars meant something. Be kind to me today, as I tried to pronounce names. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. Check out my many other videos, head over to my channel, and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel as well. You know the drill. Let's get into it. The Furies, 1950. Director, Anthony Mann. An heiress clashes with her controlling father, a cattle rancher who considers himself a general. Their relationship turns bad only when he finds himself a woman. Stars Barbara Stanwyck, Wendell Corey, Walter Houston. Nominee Oscar. Best Cinematography, Black and White, Victor Milner.
This is our dance, I believe, sir.
Told you I didn't want the legal Tandirect. Didn't want to take on the Furies. That's all I need. Word to get back to your father. You've been here. Do you have brains enough to know that?
Conflict that flames across the dark domain of the Furies as the girl who ruled it fights to dominate three strong men and the woman who threatened her empire.
And, my dear, please remember, you will always be welcome at the Furies. There will always be a room for you. Won't there, Temple? Do you want me to beg? Do you want me on my knees to you for his life?
I'd hang him anyway.
It's me you should have hung. Take a good long look at me, T.C. You won't see me again until the day I take your world away from you.
Annie Get Your Gun, 1950. Director, George Sidney, Busby Berkeley. The story of lady sharpshooter Annie Oakley, who found fame while canoodling with her love/rival Frank Butler. Stars Betty Hutton, Howard Keel, Louis Calhern. Nominee Oscars. Best Cinematography, Colour, Charles Rocher. Best Art Direction, Set Direction, Colour, Cedric Gibbons, Paul Gross. Edwin B. Wills, Richard Pfefferle. Best Film Editing, James E. Newcomb. And winning for Best Music, Scoring of a Musical Picture, Adolf Deutsch. Roger Edens. The Gunfighter, 1950. Director, Henry King. Gunfighter, Jimmy Ringo, rides into town to find his once true love. She doesn't want to see him, not looking for trouble, but trouble finds him. Stars Gregory Peck, Helen Westcott, Millard Mitchell. Nominee Oscar. Best Writing, Motion Picture Story, William Bowers.
Just trying to stay alive.
Andre de Toth.
Living, not enjoying anything, not getting anywhere. Just trying to keep from getting killed.
Broken Arrow, 1950. Director, Delmer Daves. Tom Jeffords attempts to make peace between settlers and Apaches in Arizona Territory. Stars James Stewart, Jeff Chandler, Deborah Paget. Nominee Oscars. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Jeff Chandler. Best Writing, Screenplay, Albert Maltz. Originally, Michael Blankford had been listed for this nomination. Blankford fronted for Maltz, who was a blacklisted writer at the time. Following research by the Writers Guild of America West in July 1991, the Academy officially attributed the nomination to Maltz, and removed Blackford.
On the afternoon of the third
Best
day, I was nearing
cinematography,
the entrance to the
colour,
strong room.
Ernest Palmer.
Juan had told me what to look for. I knew then that Cochise had given me permission to enter. I kept my hands visible, away from my weapons, and I tried to look at ease.
Singing Guns, 1950. Director, R.G. Springsteen. Infamous stagecoach robber, Rhiannon, is unintentionally made deputy when, after saving the sheriff's life, there must wear two hats between his new job he enjoys and his old job that he misses. Stars Vaughn Munro, Ella Raines, Walter Brennan. Nominee Oscar. Best Music, Original Song, Fred Glickman, High Heath, Johnny Lang, for the song Mule Train.
Mule train, clippity-clopping along the mountain chain. Soon they're gonna reach the top. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop, clippity-clippity, clippity-clippity, clippity-clopping along.
The Grass is Always Greener, 1950. Director, Richard L. Barr. Ranch hands get their ideas challenged when a stranger shows up, telling them how good they have things. Stars Chill Wills, Vince Barnett, John Kellogg. Nominee Oscar. Best Short Subject. Too Real, Gordon Hollingshead. Son of Paleface, 1952. Director, Frank Tashlin. Junior Potter returns to claim his father's gold, which is nowhere to be found. Mike is the beautiful head of a gang of thieves. Roy Barton is the marshal, hot on her trail. Stars Bob Hope, Jane Russell, Roy Rogers. Nominee Oscar. Best Music, Original Sound, Jack Brooks, for the song Am I in Love?
Well, leave it up to you.
Where's Mike?
The Big Sky, 1952. Director, Howard Hawks. The success of the trip concentrates on keeping the Indian girl alive and themselves to complete trade with the Blackfeet. Stars Kirk Douglas, Dewey Martin, Elizabeth Threet. Nominee Oscars. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Arthur Honeycutt. Best Cinematography, Black and White, Russell Harlan.
Everything you want. No got whiskey. Next time up the river. So long.
Viva Zapata, 1952. Director, Elia Kazan. A Mexican revolutionary, Emiliano Zapata, led a rebellion against the corrupt dictatorship of President Porfirio Diaz in the early 20th century. Stars Marlon Brando, Gene Peters, Anthony Quinn. Nominee Oscars. Best Actor in a Leading Role, Marlon Brando. Best Writing, Story and Screenplay, John Steinbeck. Best Art Direction, Set Direction, Black and White, Lyle R. Wheeler, Leland Fuller, Thomas Little, Claude E. Carpenter. Best Music Scoring of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, Alex North. Winning, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Anthony Quinn. High Noon, 1952. Director, Fred Zinnemann. A town marshal, despite the complaints of his new bride and the people around him, must face deadly killers alone at high noon, when a gang leader, an outlaw he sent up years ago, arrives on the noon train. Stars Gary Cooper, Grace Kelly, Tom Mitchell. Nominee Oscars: Best Picture, Stanley Kramer. Best Director, Fred Zinnemann. Best Writing, Screenplay, Carl Foreman. Winning for Best Actor in a Leading Role, Gary Cooper. Winning for Best Film Editing, Elmo Williams. Harry Gerstad. Winning for Best Music, Original Song, Dmitri Tiomkin, Music. Ned Washington, Lyrics. For the song High Noon, Do Not Forsake Me, Oh My Darling. Winning for Best Music, Scoring of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture, Dmitri Tiomkin. The Naked Spur, 1953. Director, Anthony Mann. A bounty hunter trying to take a murderer to justice is forced to take the help of two less than trustworthy strangers. Stars James Stewart, Janet Leigh, Robert Ryan. Nominee Oscar: Best Writing, Story and Screenplay, Sam Rolfe. Harold Jack Bloom.
He'll look and think, and then he'll reach out and take. And the way things are, who's to stop him?
Me? How do you mean? I'm different.
I mean, you got a man. At least you stick to him.
He's not my man.
Well, you're with him, ain't you?
Not like you mean.
Oh, I'd forget.
The raw and savage experience of a wild, primitive beauty at the mercy of desperate men. They gambled their lives for what each man desired most. James Stewart, willing to pay any price to create a future that will hide his past. Janet Leigh, willing to defy any man strong enough to win her. Robert Ryan, willing to make any deal to win a woman and escape the law. Ralph Meeker, willing to betray friend or foe for love or money. Millard Mitchell, willing to join any scheme for any payoff.
Quit that! Dead or alive, it says.
Stop him, they won't have a chance.
Chance at what? To kill us all? All right, if that's what you want, I'll get my chance. There. Now, cut him loose. Cut him loose!
Hondo, 1953. Director, John Farrow. Hondo Lane, an army dispatch rider, discovers a woman with a young son living in the middle of warring Apaches and becomes their protector. Stars John Wayne, Geraldine Page, Ward Bond. Nominee Oscars: Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Geraldine Page. Best Writing, Motion Picture Story, Louis L'Amour. Although the film had originally been nominated, the producer and the nominee questioned its inclusion into the motion picture story category, since the film is based on the short story The Gift of Cochise, published in Collier's magazine in July 1952, a fact not represented in the film's credits. The nomination was withdrawn, and only 4 films were included on the final ballot.
Wagons forward!
Calamity Jane, 1953. Director, David Butler. The story of Calamity Jane, her saloon, and her romance with Wild Bill Hickok. Stars Doris Day, Howard Keel, Aline Ann McCleary. Nominee Oscars: Best Sound Recording, William A. Mueller, Warner Brothers Sound Department. Best Music, Scoring of a Musical Picture, Ray Heindorf. Winning for Best Music, Original Song, Sammy Fain. Music, Paul Francis Webster, lyrics, for the song Secret Love.
Calling me a liar again.
Why don't you ever fix your hair? They called her Calamity, but you'll call her Colossal, as Doris Day lights your life with laughter and song in an exciting new star combination with Howard Keel as Wild Bill Hickok, who gets tamed by the blonde buckaroo in buckskins.
Take me back to the Black Hills of Dakota. I just flew in from the Windy City. The Windy City is mighty pretty, but they ain't got what we got. I'm telling you, boys, I ain't a swapping half a deadwood for the whole of Illinois. We'll be home tonight by the light of the silvery moon, and my heart's a thumping like a mandolin a plucking a tune.
Shane, 1953. Director, George Stevens. An ex-gunfighter defends homesteaders in 1889 Wyoming. Stars Alan Ladd, Jean Arthur, Van Heflin. Nominee Oscars. Best Picture, George Stevens. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Brandon DeWilde. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, Jack Palance. Best Director, George Stevens. Best Writing Screenplay, A.B. Guthrie Jr. Winning for Best Cinematography, Colour, Loyal Griggs.
Who fascinated the boy with the glint of his gun.
We'd all be much better off if there wasn't a single gun left in this valley.
A gun is as good or bad as the man using it.
From the clash of elemental forces, George Stevens has created a motion picture unforgettable for its spectacle and scope, its great human story, its deadly conflict.
I've heard about you.
What have you heard, Shane?
I've heard that you're a low-down Yankee liar.
Broken Lance, 1954. Director, Edward Dmytryk. The saga of the Devereaux rancher family, set in 1880s Arizona. Stars Spencer Tracy, Robert Wagner, Jean Peters. Nominee Oscar. Best Actress in a Supporting Role, Katie Hirado. Winning for Best Writing, Motion Picture Story, Philip Yordan.
Richard Widmark as the fierce firstborn son. First to scheme, first.
How I'd like an Indian stepmother after Ma died. So it's just a little late for ask.
Katie Hirado of High Noon fame as the beautiful Indian stepmother. All the primitive love's amazing pioneer family, blazing into hitherto untold fury.
Change me. Then maybe I will. Maybe I will. I can still pull that chair right out from under you. Maybe I will. There's something I'm going to do first. I'm going to tell my boy that if he wants that girl of yours to take her, he has to pull her out of the house by the hair of her head.
Ruthless violence and massive destruction that carved the cattle and mining domains out of the flaming West. Brought to the screen through the miracle of CinemaScope and the wonder of stereophonic sound in Broken Lance.
Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, 1954. Director, Stanley Donen. A backwoodsman in 1850s Oregon brings a wife home to his farm. His six brothers decide that they want to get married too. Stars Jane Powell, Howard Keel, Jeff Richards. Nominee Oscars. Best Picture, Jack Cummings. Best Writing, Screenplay, Albert Hackett, Francis Goodrich, Dorothy Kingsley. Best Cinematography, Colour, George J. Folsey. Best Film Editing, Ralph E. Winters. Winning for Best Music, Scoring of a Motion Picture, Adolf Deutsch. Saul Chaplin.
Every field wears a bonnet with some spring daisies on it.
The obvious reason is because of the season.
Each nest is twittering, they're all babysitting.
Spring, spring, spring. This really happened.
Tell you about them sobbing women who lived in the Roman days. It seems that they all went swimming while their men was off to graze. Them women was sobbing, 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 fit to be tied. Every muscle was throbbing, throbbing from that riotous ride. Seems they cried and kissed and cried all over that Roman countryside. So don't forget that when you're taking a bride.
The groom's waiting at the altar. Here comes the bride. They're each promising to love and obey.
Now,
Red Garters, 1954. Director George Marshall. A man visits a frontier town seeking to avenge his brother's murder. Stars Rosemary Clooney, Jack Carson, Guy Mitchell. Nominee Oscar. Best Art Direction, Set Direction. Colour Hal Pereira, Ronald Anderson, Sam Comer, Ray Moyer.
May I have the honor? That is, if Jason does not object.
Oh, of course he doesn't. Here, hold these, Jason.
Huh? Fine stamping Calavans here. Judge, I think this calls for refreshment.
Bad Day at Black Rock, 1955. Director John Sturges. A one-armed stranger comes to a small town with a terrible past they want to keep secret, by force if necessary. Stars Spencer Tracy, Robert Ryan, and Francis. Nominee Oscars. Best Actor in a Leading Role, Spencer Tracy.
Somebody's always looking for something in this part of the West.
Best Director, John Sturges. Best Writing Screenplay, Millard Kaufman.
Well, they don't. I don't. Some do when they come around snooping.
Looking for what?
I don't know. Outsiders coming in looking for something.
Looking for what?
I don't know.
Years ago, something terrible happened here. We did nothing about it. Nothing. Now something terrible's going to happen again. They're going to kill you with no hard feelings.
What does he say? Who is this guy anyway?
Never heard of him, that's what he says. He checked and there's no John J. McCready. No listing, no record, no information, nothing.
Nobody like McCready can raise a pretty big stink. The point is, who'd miss a nobody like McCready if he just, say, disappeared?
Thought it'd be better if you went out there and got done with it. What can he find out?
This is liable to be the hardest $10 you ever earned in your life.
I suppose 4 years from now you'll be sitting around here telling people you haven't forgotten me either. That's real progress. In the meantime, I'll be as dead as a... Why don't you tell me what happened?
Oklahoma, 1955. Director Fred Zinnemann. In Oklahoma, several farmers, cowboys, and a traveling salesman compete for the romantic favors of various local ladies. Stars Gordon McRae, Gloria Graham, Gene Nelson. Nominee Oscars. Best Cinematography, Color, Robert Surtees. Best Sound Recording, Fred Hines. Best Film Editing, Gene Ruggiero. George Baumler. Winning for Best Music, Scoring of a Musical Picture, Robert Russell Bennett, Jay Blackton, Adolf Deutsch. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.